I don't even have words. So many things are happening right now. Absolute Martian Manhunter came out. Daredevil Born Again. Doomsday cast announce. What? This all hit me by surprise. They did a 5-hour live stream for Avengers Doomsday where we just have a bunch of chairs that are showing up with all these actors' names that are gonna be in it. And I can't believe that they just dropped that right now. Like, I was not ready for this today. Okay, Marvel Studios? So let's talk about some of these names that are here, because there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. First off, we got Chris Hemsworth, who's gonna be playing, we assume, Thor. For all these names, I'm gonna say who they've been playing, you know, in the MCU or in Marvel movies. We can discuss afterwards what we think about that, but I think this is going to be the cast. I just want to say, there's no reason for me to believe that people are returning and not playing their own characters. There's no reason for me to believe that people are returning and not playing the same characters they were playing previously. So Chris Hemsworth is Thor. I mean, we already kind of knew that Thor was going to be returning, right? After Thor 4. I think they were talking about that prior to this. I don't think that it was planned that that was going to be like the end of Thor. So that makes sense to me. And I also just feel like, you know, let's be real. If Love and Thunder was the end of Thor, I'd be a little disappointed, okay? And I didn't absolutely hate Love and Thunder or anything like that. I thought it was fine, but that can't be the end. That just can't be the end. So I'm glad to see that Thor will probably be returning here. We have Vanessa Kirby, who, you know, is playing the Invisible Woman. I think that makes sense. I think having the Fantastic Four appear in general makes sense. I don't have too much to say about that because, you know, we haven't seen First Steps yet, so I don't know what to think. All I know is that, yay, Fantastic Four. We've got Anthony Mackie as Captain America, which obviously I'm here for more Anthony Mackie as Cap. I feel like we need, honestly, some more Sam Wilson out there. I just think he's a really cool character and I'd love to see him get to do more stuff and also hopefully get to do some more stuff that is even better than Brave New World, which I thought was, once again, I thought it was fine. It was good. It was entertaining, but it's not the level that I would like from this Captain America. I think we can do more. We have Sebastian Stan returning as Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, which I love that they put Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan next to each other. Bros for life. That means possibly, since Doomsday's coming out after Thunderbolts, that we have confirmed that Winter Soldier will survive that experience. I know we've all had a lot of theories around Thunderbolts about who's gonna live, who's gonna die, so that's interesting. Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri, is also returning. I love that. I'm very excited, and I am excited to see also potentially Letitia Wright maybe returning still as Black Panther. I know that we've seen the concept art where we saw another Black Panther. It's possible that we could have two, or I don't know what's gonna happen, but Letitia Wright's coming back and I really liked Wakanda Forever, so I'm here for that. Paul Rudd, who plays Ant-Man, and I'm not sure if all these people are gonna be playing the same characters, like I said, that they have played in the MCU and in Marvel movies, but they gave Paul Rudd a small chair, so if he isn't playing Ant-Man, that would be kind of weird, right? So I'm very excited to see Ant-Man return. I just love Paul Rudd, and I love Ant-Man, honestly. I think that it is unfortunate that Quantumania turned out the way it did. I just feel like Ant-Man deserves better, and a lot of people say that Ant-Man just can't carry a story and that he doesn't have like main character energy or whatever, like he can't be the center of a big thing. I just don't think that that's true, and I'm not just saying that because he's Ant-Man and he's small. I'm not saying big thing. It's not a pun. This isn't intentionally funny. We have Wyatt Russell returning as U.S. Agent. I don't really have much to say about that. I like U.S. Agent. It's interesting, but I don't really have much to say about that. That's cool. U.S. Agent. Here he comes. Also, I guess, surviving Thunderbolts. We have Tenoch Huerta Mejia coming back as Namor. I liked his portrayal of Namor. Now, I do remember, I think there was something that happened Like, there was some sort of scandal or something involving him. I don't know what's happening with that. I haven't really looked into it. So I'm not going to get into that because I don't know. I just remember there being something. But I guess he's coming back, so I don't know if that was handled or what. I will say, in terms of just him as an actor, I did like his performance as Namor, though. I thought it was good. We have Ebon Moss-Bacharach as presumably the Thing. Once again, I mean, I haven't seen First Steps. It's not out yet. But I just love this. I just love Fantastic Four. I'm excited to see it, and I think the cast is going to deliver, so yay. Simu Liu is Shang-Chi! Yes! But also, when are we getting Shang-Chi 2, though? I'm still waiting. Still waiting for the next Shang-Chi film. But at least Simu Liu has been popping up here and there, and now finally is going to reappear in the flesh as Shang-Chi, presumably in Doomsday. I think that's exciting. Florence Pugh as Yelena. You know how I feel about Florence Pugh. I just love Florence Pugh in general. I really love her as Yelena. I feel blessed that we get to have her in the MCU, honestly. I'm very excited about that. And that means that Yelena survives Thunderbolts? Although I never doubted. Yelena definitely seemed like, if anyone was going to survive, I thought it was going to be Yelena. Kelsey Grammar as Beast? I'm sorry. Fox X-Men? What is happening? Granted, I will say, this is also when people were talking about the idea of Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey. I'm not saying that that's impossible, okay? But I was under the mindset, especially after what we saw in the Marvels. If you watch the Marvels, there was a post-credit, it was either a mid-credit or post-credit, where we saw where Monica goes, and Monica seemingly goes to a place where the Fox X-Men are, goes into like another world. And Beast is there. So I think that this makes some sense, and it could be that we're going to get Fox X-Men returning in general. Lewis Pullman as Sentry. Well, I guess Sentry's surviving Thunderbolts too. And here I thought maybe they would get rid of Sentry and they would just make it about them taking out the Void, and with the Void goes Sentry or something, and he you know, has to take himself out, or they have to take him out, or something like that. Looks like that might not be happening, and that makes me very happy, because I think Sentry is a really interesting character, and I'd be really sad if they only used him for one film. We have Danny Ramirez as Falcon, which also excited to see him returning. Did like him as well in Captain America, and I can't wait to see more of Falcon. That's awesome. Joseph Quinn as Human Torch. I just love Joseph Quinn. The fact that we get Joseph Quinn as a Human Torch is like, that's so cool. And I mean, it sounds like almost all the Fantastic Four are here, which makes sense because this is, of course, Doomsday. David Harbour as the Red Guardian. I really felt like Red Guardian was giving some signals in the Thunderbolts trailer that he wasn't going to make it, because he's given a lot of speeches, you know? A lot of speeches that you'd give and make everyone love you, and then you die. And so maybe he's also going to make it then, and he'll be in this. That's pretty cool. Winston Duke as M'Baku. Yay. Yay. More Black Panther. Yes, please. Give me more Black Panther characters in here. M'Baku is such a cool character, and I feel like there's a lot that you could do. I hope it's not just like a quick appearance, though. I hope he gets something really to do in this film. We have Hannah John-Kamen as Ghost. Wow, Ghost is a character that I think everyone thought was going to be gone at the end of Thunderbolts, and I'm glad to see Ghost isn't. I know a lot of people aren't as big fans of Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I actually really liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know, I'm one of the outliers. We'll see how it goes in the review when I get back to it, though, because the review's been an experience. If you don't know, I'm watching through all of the MCU films in the order of release. I went back to the beginning, and I've been doing reviews on them as I go through, and kind of just trying to take off my rose-colored glasses to examine the films as they stand. So we'll see how I feel about Ant-Man and the Wasp when I get back to it, but I did really enjoy that film at the time, and I liked what they did with Ghost. I think Ghost is also just a really interesting character. Obviously, we've changed it a bit for the MCU, but I think that there's a lot that you could still explore there, and just kind of a unique character, I feel. We have Tom Hiddleston coming back as Loki. Okay. All right, then. What? Loki's now, of course, if you've been watching the Loki series, which ended, he's fully transcended to basically becoming the person that is overseeing the multiverse. So I don't know what that means, that Loki's coming back. Will Loki still be in the same role? Is something gonna change? I have a lot of questions about that. We have Patrick freaking Stewart coming back as Professor X. And how could you bring him back if you don't bring back Sir Ian McKellen? Well, actually, they're both Sirs. So Sir Patrick Stewart, pardon me, and Sir Ian McKellen. Sir Ian McKellen, of course, coming back as Magneto. Bless. I can't believe that that's happening. I can't believe this. I feel like the one thing I will say is with us going so much into the Fox X-Men, it makes me think that at any point, what this could mean is that we are already going super multiversal for this film, which the concept art also led me to believe that we were already going to be kind of going in a Secret Wars angle, because it looked very like patchwork, Battle World, 2015 Secret Wars vibes. So I feel that the one thing we should keep in mind, even with the characters that we think might be safe in Thunderbolts, it is possible that they could die in Thunderbolts, and this could be them, I don't know, existing in like an alternate reality, because I feel like a lot of this feels very alternate reality based on everything I've seen and heard thus far. And I feel like even our Fantastic Four are going to be in an alternate reality potentially, because they're in a totally different time period. And obviously in the main continuity for the MCU, we've never heard mention of the Fantastic Four. So if it happened in the past, unless somehow we forgot all about it, like the Sentry in the comics, I guess, how does that make sense? We've got Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler. Wow, okay, that's amazing. Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. I'm so happy right now. James Marsden as Cyclops. If Hugh Jackman isn't also in here, I mean, Hugh Jackman's gotta be in here, right? Like, Hugh Jackman's gotta be appearing at this somewhere, whether or not he's listed here. Channing Tatum as Gambit. No way, they did it. They did it. Channing Tatum's dreams coming true again. He gets to keep playing Gambit. I am very happy for Channing Tatum because I know how much this is a role that he just is so excited about and how much it means to him, I think, as a performer. And I know we all had thoughts about the dialect, okay, in Deadpool and Wolverine, but I feel like Channing Tatum just seems like such a cool guy, such a chill guy, and I did appreciate what he brought to the character. The dialect, I think, could use some work, but we can work on that, you know? There's coaches for that. So we could work it out, and I'm still excited to see him return. So that's pretty cool. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. Wow, the whole family's here, but where's Herbie? If Herbie isn't in this film, I'm gonna riot. No, that's very exciting that Mr. Fantastic is here. And how appropriate that Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal, is of course the one person that we get before the person, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Fitting. They need to be next to each other. They're rivals. The fact that Mr. Fantastic is next to Doom, that Pedro Pascal is next to Doom, I think is important. Now, in terms of the other orders and what that all means, some of these people being next to each other makes a lot of sense to me. Like, for example, we have, you know, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. Obviously, that makes sense. We have Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. That makes sense. But not all of them make a ton of sense. Like, you know, Yelena, like Shang Chi next to Yelena, next to Beast, next to Falcon, next to Human Torch, next to Red Guardian, next to M'Baku, next to Ghost. That all feels pretty random to me. So how all of these people fit together exactly, I'm not entirely sure. And also it's interesting because in the concept art, not to say the concept art means that it'll happen, it's just concept art, so it might not happen. But we did have, you know, we had the Hulk and She-Hulk and Scar was there, and we also had the Young Avengers seemingly assembling. So what that all means, and I mean, Star-Lord was there, White Vision was there, so, and none of these people are listed. So I think this is just the beginning of what we're getting. This is even more teasers. And I think they're also aware of the fact that, you know, the concept art is out there. So we've already kind of seen that and talked about it. So they're trying to give us something fresh, I think, as well. This is a lot. This is a lot to discuss. Let me know what you're thinking about this cast in the comments below, and if there are any interactions, you know, from the comics or just any dream interactions from stuff you've seen in the MCU with these characters you'd love to see together in scenes, moments you'd love to see. Where do you think we're going with it? What do you think the order means? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Let's discuss in the comments. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. And thank you as well for engaging. I really do appreciate chatting with you all. I mean that. It brings me joy to see us all just geeking out about stuff, and also talking about whether we're geeking out about a casting or whether we're talking about issues in comics and the industry. It's really fun to discuss with you. So thank you. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, friends, stay nerdy. Bye. Also check out this. I talked about the concept art in depth here.